It is 8:59 a.m., October 11th, 1966. The trial is proceeding with the second round of witnesses for the prosecution.
All rise. Case 189, the people of the state of New York v. Bruce Wayne will now reconvene. The Honorable Judge O'Neill presiding.
Please be seated. Okay, so today I want to remind all parties in this case that the defendant has pleaded guilty to all but one crime. And while we will require evidence and statements to back up the plea for the sakes of procedure and sentencing, today we should refocus to the night in question where the suspected murder occurred. With that said, Ms. Van Dorn, your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution calls former Police Commissioner James Gordon to the stand.
Place your hand here. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Gordon, how long were you the Commissioner of Police in Gotham City?
23 years. From 1942 until last year.
When you were forced to resign when Mr. Wayne's crimes were revealed?
Yes.
So you were Police Commissioner for most of Bruce Wayne's time as the Batman. However, your history goes back even further, does it not?
Yes, I worked with him from the start. Back when I was a captain and soon after a lieutenant.
Explain to this court, if you would, why you helped and even covered up the acts of a masked vigilante that flew in the face of everything your position is supposed to uphold.
Because the police force was broken, corrupt, and I felt the only way to take the city back for the decent people of Gotham was to go outside the law. And it worked. We turned the tide, took the city back from the mobs.
And for that, you were promoted all the way up to commissioner, all the while psychotics, created by the mere presence of the Batman in Gotham, murdered hundreds of citizens in your care.
Objection! Editorializing, leading, and conjecture.
Sustained. Did you even hear what I said a few minutes ago, Miss Van Dorn?
I was getting to it, Your Honor, but very well. James Gordon, you were there the night of the fire that destroyed Old Arkham Asylum, weren't you? The night of July 13th, 1950.
I was.
Please recall those events for us.
Very well. Batman called me and said the Joker had escaped, but was still inside Arkham and was holding hostages. By the time we arrived on the scene, the fire had already begun. We tried to move in, but the fire held us back. I told my men to wait for the fire brigade to arrive. Bullock in particular tried to fight me on it, but I ran in closer to grab him. That's when I saw the two figures, silhouettes, fighting on the roof. One was unmistakably that of a man-sized bat. I saw one final strike from the Batman, and then the other figure fell from the roof and into the inferno.
Could you identify the figure who fell?
Not at first, but then I heard him laugh. That unmistakable laugh, all the way down before he was overtaken by the flames.
So you arrested the Batman for murder?
No.
No?
I didn't see it happen. Not clearly.
You saw enough from the sounds of it.
The Batman never killed. Later, he told me that it was an accident. He tried to save the Joker, to grab him. I believed him.
I wonder, Mr. Gordon, if that belief, that sweeping under the carpet, was blinded by the satisfaction that the man who crippled your daughter and murdered your second wife was dead.
Objection! Your Honor, this is getting ridiculous.
Any more of that kind of editorializing, Miss Van Dorn, and I will end this here and now.
No, I'll answer. No, Ms. Van Dorn. I believed him because I knew what kind of man he was. How I watched 100 times as he went out of his way to never kill anyone, no matter what they had done. Batman, Bruce, was the one who talked me down from killing the Joker after what he did to Sarah. He stopped me. That man would never willingly cross that line. The fact is, he had plenty of chances, and plenty of reasons to before that. Jason, Barbara, Sarah. He always stopped himself. Why would that night, after over a decade of battling that mad clown, be any different?
That was one hell of a speech there, Mr. Gordon. But to get back to the facts, what had the Joker just done that night before the fire at Arkham?
His usual. Quinn broke him out.
Dr. Harleen Quinzel, by then known as Harley Quinn?
That's the one. She broke him out, and they killed a few guards, a couple of fellow inmates, and the hostages. That's all, as far as I know.
You're sure?
I saw the bodies afterward.
You said that the Joker had hostages. Did you, in fact, know that one of those hostages was a close friend of Bruce Wayne?
Dr. Leslie Tompkins, yes.
Indeed. She was visiting to give the struggling medical staff there a hand with some of the less violent patients. And she died that night, didn't she?
She did.
At the Joker's hands?
Yes.
So, knowing what you know now, that Bruce Wayne was the Batman, is it not possible that that murder was one step too far? That was why the Batman killed him?
I didn't know that Bruce Wayne was Batman then.
But you do now. Isn't it possible, Mr. Gordon?
Yes, I suppose.
Well then.
Objection! Miss Van Dorn's questions are presuming guilt by context. That has not been proven.
I believe Mr. Gordon has both the experience of a career police officer and a close friend of the defendant, and as such, would be able to make an educated judgment on his state of mind.
Overruled. But you will rephrase the question, Ms. Van Dorn.
Very well. In your educated experience, Mr. Gordon, do you believe that in that state of mind, Bruce Wayne could have killed the Joker?
I looked in his eyes that night, and I believed him when he said he didn't kill that murdering maniac.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Coulson, you'll witness if you wish to cross-examine.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Gordon, how do you know that the Batman never killed?
Trust me, I'd know. I went to pretty much every crime scene he was a part of. Saw the pictures for the ones that I didn't. I watched him, like I said, many times, as he grabbed a falling criminal, or knocked a firearm from their hands instead of using lethal force to take them down. Lethal force that any of my people would have been justified in taking.
But what about the manslaughter charges that he is admitted to?
Things happen out of our control, even his. Those people died because of the situations that they caused. If Mr. Wayne could have saved them, he would have.
So it is your professional opinion that Bruce Wayne never let his emotions drive him over that line?
I saw him the day after the Joker killed Jason Todd. I could tell he wished he had slain the Joker in return, but he didn't. He just handed him over to the European authorities, who extradited him to us. If he would have killed the Joker at any time, it was then.
Not even after he killed my client's mother figure? The second mother he had, in a sense, lost to crime?
Like I said, it's possible, but no, I don't think so.
No further questions, Your Honor.
The witness may step down. Your next witness, Ms. Van Dorn.
Thank you. The prosecution calls Edward Nashton to the stand.
Place your hand here. Put it here. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
What kind of a question is that?
Answer the question or you will be removed.
Then I suppose the answer is yes, I do.
Then sit down.
Mr. Nashton.
Nigma.
Excuse me?
I changed my name, legally, to Nigma almost a decade ago. If you would be so kind.
Very well. Mr. Nigma, where were you on the night of July 13th, 1950?
Another very easy one, and one you had me sign in writing first, my dear. I was in my cell, wasn't I? I saw it all, didn't I?
All of what?
Indeed. I am seen by many, but usually only two, and only one now knows of what happened. What am I?
A murder. I will not play your games, Mr. Nigma. You need to say it plainly.
Very well. Yes, I saw it all. I watched as they fought. I was one of the first who managed to escape my confinement. I briefly did battle with that overgrown bird as he tried to stop me from leaving the asylum.
Robin?
Yes, the old one. The one who spread his wings and flew the coop. Oh, but at that time he was still under his father's wing.
That's far enough, Riddler. Get back in your cell.
Give me food and I will live. Give me water and I will die. What am I?
What?
Fire, you thick-skulled Neanderthal! And that is what is back there. If I go back into my cell, I will die.
Then come quietly. And turn around so I can put these cuffs on you.
Sorry, kid. Not gonna happen.
The hard way, then.
I tried, but that brute was too strong. Eventually, though, I saw my opening when he threw me on the floor in the perfect spot.
Riddle me this, boy wonder. What is painful to all, but only crippling to half of the species?
What? Hold still.
A kick right in the daddy bag!
Riddler! Get back here!
And so I ran, all the way to the East Wing. Turns out that was the wrong way to go. The fire was really raging there. The entire roof ahead of me caved in. Whoa! Oh. But as I look up into the night sky, that is when I saw them. The Dark Knight and his so-called nemesis locked in mortal combat. And I heard the Joker call out,
Help! Somebody help me! Ah! I surrender!
Not this time, Joker.
No! No!
and that is what I saw.
And that's it? The whole truth?
Miss Van Dorn, what is objective to the law but subjective to everyone else? The truth. I told it to you as I saw it with my eyes and my ears, but it is but my own...
All right. Enough. No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Coulson, your witness. God help you.
Mr. Nigma, you're saying you managed to escape Robin, Mr. Grayson, by kicking him in the groin, yes?
As I always say, Mr. Coulson, fight smarter, not harder.
Your Honor, I would like to present Defendant's Exhibit 1, this photo, to the jury.
Let me see that. A costume of some sorts?
Yes, Nightwing's costume to be exact. I have another for the jury, if I may.
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please pass it around, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and see for yourself that Nightwing's costume has a built-in cup around his groin area. In fact, I would question any crime fighter of his caliber performing his activities without one. Wouldn't you say?
What's your point?
My point, Mr. Nigma, is that if you are lying about that you are not a credible witness, and your statement should be null and void.
Objection!
What? That's not yours to say, Mr. Nigma.
But I do. I object. He might have put some protection around his little robins after I did that, maybe because of that, in his later Nightwing suit. But I am telling you that in July of 1950, his family jewels were pulverized by my foot.
Mr. Nigma, Do you really expect us to believe that the most experienced partner of the Batman would not have thought of that prior to the night in Arkham? That any number of criminals would have targeted that weak point for just that reason?
Well, I took him by surprise. No one has ever landed a hit there before, as far as I know.
Your Honor, permission to have this witness's account stricken from the record.
Objection. I agree with the witness. The evidence presented is of the Nightwing costume, not the Robin one he would have worn at the time.
I agree. Mr. Coulson, do you have pictures of the Robin costume Mr. Grayson would have worn on that night?
No, Your Honor. That costume was destroyed several years ago.
Then I have no choice but to accept the testimony, as outlandish and exaggerated as it is.
Understood. No further questions, Your Honor.
The witness is excused.
But I'm not done. I have so much more I can help with.
Officers, remove this man.
No, I can help. I saw him do so much worse. Unhand me. Hey, unhand me.
Order! We will now go into a short recess of half an hour to allow this matter to be contained. We will continue at 10:30.
The time is 10:30 and the trial is proceeding.
Ms. Van Dorn, your next witness. Hopefully a less colorful one.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution calls Harvey Dent to the stand.
Place your hand here. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
I do.
Mr. Dent, this should all seem very familiar to you.
Yes, it is. Hello, Janet.
Well, at least you managed to answer that first question without the use of your coin, Harvey. How long has it been since you were declared sane by the city of Gotham?
6 years.
Well, your scars are certainly looking a lot better these days. But I'm afraid for this trial, I must ask you to turn your mind back to a time when you still struggled with your dual persona of Two-Face. July 13th, 1950. Can you do that?
Please don't treat me like a child, Janet. I can handle it.
Very well. Please tell the court what you saw on that night in question.
Well, I was in my cell when the fire began. I saw an orderly run past in a hurry and called out to him.
Hey you. What's happening?
There's a fire. We may need to evacuate you. Stand by.
A fire?
Stay put.
But I couldn't just do that. Not without asking the one thing I trusted to make up my minds. It came up heads, and I did as I was told. Shortly after, a few guards came by with irons ready. They chained me up, led me to the exit. On the way, I heard a commotion and looked around the corner to see the Batman running down a hall. He was chasing someone. A person I soon realized was the Joker.
You can't stop it now, Batman. This old house of mine will burn, and then you won't have anywhere left to put me, and then you'll have to kill me.
There are other asylums, Joker.
Oh, yes. More doctors to kill, like that dear Dr. Tompkins. You really cared for her, didn't you?
Shut up.
He threw a batarang down the hall at the clown. It missed as Joker bailed up the stairs leading to the roof. The Batman gave chase.
Move it, freak. I'm not gonna burn so you can watch the show.
The guards moved me along, and that was the last thing I saw until Arkham burned to the ground while I sat in the prison wagon outside with Crane, Ivy, and Bane.
Did you at any point hear the defendant threaten the Joker's life?
No. But he was angry. More angry than I had ever seen him, and I'm sorry. I made him pretty angry over the years.
Angry enough to break his code?
Objection! How would the witness know that?
Because Harvey Dent was a good friend of Bruce Wayne for many years before he became Two-Face, and his enemy for many more years after that. If anyone would know, it may be the witness.
Overruled. Let's hear the answer, Mr. Dent.
I don't know. Maybe? But he didn't kill the clown after he iced the second kid's sidekick, so why then?
Did you at any point, during all your years opposing him, feel like the Batman was threatening your life?
Not really. He spent most of that time trying to save me from, well, myself.
I see. And you believe he was trying to do the same for the Joker?
No. I believe he had a code. And that code didn't allow for him to cross that line. And I think that if he did, then nothing would stop him from doing it again after that night. And I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Coulson, do you wish to cross-examine?
No, Your Honor.
Very well. You may step down, Mr. Dent. Ms. Van Dorn, we have time for one more witness today, if you have one prepared.
I do, Your Honor. One final witness for our case. The prosecution calls Harley Quinn to the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah, sure.
Say it.
I swear. Jeez.
Miss Quinzel, how long were you in a romantic relationship with the late criminal known as the Joker?
I don't know, like 7 years?
And you were part of the breakout and plan that the Joker hatched that night in Arkham on July 13th, 1950?
Yeah, I broke my pudding out. I posed as one of the nurses, see? And after I broke him out, the bat showed up and murdered him. The end.
I need more than that, Miss Quinzel. What did you see?
Well, it was going real well until the bat and his stupid bunch of kids turned up.
Where are the hostages, Joker?
Hostages? Oh, yeah. You mean the dead bodies on the floor in there. They made such a mess.
You killed them all?
Duh. Of course I did, Ginger Snap. Hostages are so cumbersome. All of that begging for their lives and wetting themselves. I'd rather just get it over with and pretend I still have them to get you here alone, Batman. But I see you brought the kids. Yawn. You always know how to ruin my fun.
You'll pay for that, Joker.
Batman? If he killed them all, that means Dr. Tompkins.
I know.
Will I now? You'll have to catch me first!
Mr. J ran and we set off the explosives we planted in the corridor earlier. It caused a big boom! The freaks in tights survived it, of course. But the corridor caught fire and soon all of Arkham went up in flames. It was great. Later, they split up to find us. I cornered the bat chick. Hit around the back of the head from behind with my hammer.
Oh,
Hey, I thought Mr. J crippled you.
I got better.
Oh well, I'll have to break you again. I aimed my bat to hit her spine, but as I brought it down, she came to and kicked me away. We fought for a bit. But that's when I got back up.
Need some help, Harley?
Ivy! She hit Bat Broad with her vines. It was great.
Oh, 2 against 1, Batgirl. Better run home to your daddy.
You think I'm afraid of a few leaves?
Let's see. From this fire, the plants beneath will take over these grounds and retake it from Mother Nature.
Ivy wrapped that bitch up in her vines and began choking her. It was going so well until the furball queen showed up.
Now.
Catwoman slashed the vines off Batsy.
This isn't your fight, Pam.
Selena, I see you finally chose a side, and the wrong one at that.
I chose freedom. You chose crazy.
At least I don't need a man to complete me.
Ouch. That'd hurt if I gave a damn.
Enough.
Then we fought 2-on-2 for a little bit. And we would have won. But then Ivy's plans caught fire.
No, my babies.
Oops. My bad. Stupid tree hugger ran off to try and save them. Left me all alone. After that, those two bitches took me down. It wasn't a fair fight. I could have taken back bitch if it was just the two of us.
What about the Joker? Did you see what happened to him?
Yeah. As the cops took me in, I saw Mr. J and B-Man fighting on the roof. And I saw as he grabbed him and then pushed him. And I never saw him again. His brilliance burned away by those flames we set. But I saw Batman push him. I saw it. I swear.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Coulson, your witness.
I have no questions at this time, Your Honor.
Very well, then. This court stands in recess until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, at which time the defense will present its first witnesses. Court adjourned.
Vicky, I managed to sneak next to the defense and friends and family again today. This is what I got.
Not gonna lie to you all. Today could have gone better. My play against Riddler was badly planned. I should have known they would have called me on it.
I'm telling you, Gil, Riddler never kicked me in the balls. I think I'd remember that. Besides, I'd never leave myself open like that anyways.
Yes, but without evidence, it's your word against his. Are there any pictures of your old Robin costume that we could use?
Nothing clear enough to see the padding on the groin, no. We kinda tried to not get our picture taken back then.
But you heard how he was, Gil. No jury is going to believe that, nor Harley. They both sounded nuts.
Yeah. And Dent's statement really helped our case, I think.
Let's hope it's enough.
You gonna call me to the stand tomorrow, Gil?
Yes. We'll do it just like we talked about. But be prepared for some foul plays from Van Dorn.
Oh, don't worry. I'm ready.
Who else you calling tomorrow?
Well, I was hoping for you or Alfred. But since the other side already called you, I need to wait until at least day 2 of our witnesses for that. But the testimony we got from Jarvis Tetch is pretty good for us, so I'm gonna call him tomorrow, I think.
The Mad Hatter? What did that lunatic see that could help us?
Enough. And hopefully enough to prove Bruce's innocence, at least as it relates to the murder.
All this just for one less sentence. It won't make any difference anyway.
It matters to Mr. Wayne, Dick, and that is all that matters. See you tomorrow.
Alright, have a good rest of your day.